Alright, so now it's time to place blocks and mine what you have out there or mine blocks you put on there. I don't need the controls on, but I'm going to leave them up just to show you how I'm doing it. So I'm going to pick an object, say this cobblestone, and as I just move my mouse around, I'm not even moving my person. Remember, I'm just kind of looking around. If I right click, it places the block. Now if I right click in this area, notice there's a small black line around it. It will place that. I can even place over here. So from this one spot, I'm able to place 3 blocks this way and 3 blocks that way. So that's pretty nice. Without even moving, I can move the mouse just slightly. And I'm really just kind of moving about that much, not much at all. I'm able to place objects really easily. If I want to mine them, which means destroy them or get rid of them, I just click once, and now I was able to destroy them. So now I want to put maybe a different stone object in between, go to the same spots, and now I have those objects there. Now if I want to back away and add things, I can add them directly onto another block, or since it's on the ground, I can just click on it. If I mess up, just mine it, it's gone, disappears. Where does it go? Don't worry, it's back in your inventory essentially, because you have unlimited amounts. Now a lot of times people think placing is the same as dropping. Dropping is typically you don't want to drop. There's not many times that you will drop things. Usually I have people, if they're dropping things, is if they've collected something and they want somebody else to have it and they're kind of allowing them to give it to them. So if I hit Q right now, it drops the item, and so if there were other people in the game with me, they could walk over it and pick it up. Since you have unlimited inventory, you can always grab it. So typically don't use dropping in creative mode unless somebody's having trouble finding something and you already have it and you just drop it for them to have some of those items to help you with. But if you just walk over it, it picks it up. Notice it's gone and it kind of flashed there on the bottom there for me to see in my hotbar. Now if I were to, for instance, go to the stone cutter, and I'll go to this side and hit Q, it drops it. So you can see the stone cutter. It's a smaller item anyway, and it won't do anything. It'll just kind of float up and down and have some areas there. Nothing's going to affect it. No, as long as nobody walks over it, you're fine. Now, in Minecraft, you can also build up, right? And so if I start clicking here, notice I don't even have the ability to place unless the actual mouse crosshair is on an actual surface of some block or something. So if I do it here, I can build off of it. I can even do it on top. Okay? And so when I do it on top, I can easily build a wall. Now, how do I get up there? You're probably thinking, well, we just learned about flying, so I can do the same thing. I can fly up, and now I can build from this position and actually reach, I might have to go a little further until it turns black, reach that area. Now I can go down here, still black, and build up. And so from this one position in the inside, I'm actually just right-clicking in these areas, and it's building up. And then I could easily, go down a little bit, break a hole there, and so now I have like a natural window. Do the same thing here. And there's a little pig looking at me. This is considered a mob. It's just a mobile item. So now I have these and I'm able to build. Again, flying up, you can build on top of things. Now here's something that's pretty neat. So I was able to build on top. Remember, I can't build up here. But let's say, because see it doesn't say place on the bottom right, but let's say I want to build off of this. I can click on the right and build as much as I want to over here. And notice it hangs out there, no problem. It does not need any blocks because it has what it's connected to. Now if I destroy or mine those blocks, it still stays here. So it doesn't need anything once it is there. It's just to get it there, I'd have to actually have items. So I could really create something by destroying or mining all of these. And look, all of those are floating. Uh-oh, I made some holes. You can fill holes with anything. You don't have to fill holes. I typically like to fill them, but other people don't mind. You can fill them with stones and destroy that. You can fill them with grass. Now, the way that you get grass or any item that you're kind of targeting, so let's say I've got something right here, my crosshairs there, I can actually press the third button or the center button. Now, if you don't have a center button on your mouse or a center button on your touchpad, then you need to go back to the settings and change them. And I'm going to show you that because that's also an important part if you want to take objects that are already there. So I'm just going to grab this grass block. Notice it replaced where I currently was with the grass block. I was at cobblestone, the mossy cobblestone. So now I can replace that grass if I want to. You don't have to. A lot of people like to. So now I go away. I can fly up and see what it looks like. I can even build upon it. I want to make more grassy area here. I can grab, the grassy cobblestone. I can kind of make this go full circle. There we go. So I've made kind of this square that's kind of floating. Okay, so that's how you can get objects up in the air, but also build and destroy. And if I need to destroy the whole thing, there's no undo button, so I'm going to have to, unless I use some coding or some commands, I'm going to have to destroy all of this if I want to start over. And so I'd have to go around and essentially get close enough to mine the objects. And there I am. So I'm back how I started. You can also dig down, depends on your world, but if you dig down and get yourself stuck in a hole, like I am here, you can try to walk up, but if there's no steps, you'd have to build blocks and then walk on the block. See how I auto jumped and I got myself out of there. If you are ever in a blocks of grass or what is considered a flat world, it's only kind of 4 levels high. If I dig right here, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes into a void. And if I fall in the void, look, you can see the flat world. It kind of goes forever, but it's actually flat. So I'd have to fly back up here into this spot in order to get back out. And then, of course, you would want to fill that hole so you don't fall in it again. And there we go. So that's just moving around with objects, any of your inventory, and grabbing them. If I need to go back to the inventory, I can click on it, replace items, just by clicking and replacing. And so now I have those new items, and I can build all sorts of things off of them. One of the things you'll also notice is that people like to run and build. So if I can actually walk backwards and hold down the place, it actually will keep building as I'm going backwards. And so you pretty quickly, look how much I was able to make. And then I can go back the other way as long as I'm kind of not in the way. Like I can't build it in front of me because then I'd walk right into it. So I got to be a little bit higher. And then I can look down and just hold down the right button and walk, and there I go. I made 2 lines just like that. So that's just controlling and placing and mining blocks.